You all are amazing. I am like completely blown away. There's been so many likes and shares and so many new followers. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining and for following and everything. I've been getting lots of awesome questions about the program and like how it works and all of that. And I'm gonna answer and I'm gonna respond to everybody. I might need to get some help because it's a lot, and I'm just so excited to feel helpful and to feel like I'm contributing, and I'm just so thankful for you all. And I'm like completely, it was overnight that so many people, I think the page and these videos have been shared already a couple hundred times. My website has been visited a few thousand times. I was expecting for there to be a little bit of response, but not this kind of genuine, real response where you all are actually watching the videos and talking with me and everything. And I want you to know it's actually me. I am going to actually be responding to you individually because it's very important to me. And I do have a program that's being used by around 30,000 kids right now and about 150,000 kids a day. And I can do a video all on that. But the main thing I wanted to tell you is that you can ask me any questions you want. This is for you. You can tell me about things that you want to learn about, topics you want to know about the college admissions process, advice on what to do with kids who don't want to study, whatever it is. I've worked with lots and lots of kids that are, all over the place in terms of motivation, and they're starting, skill levels in a whole bunch of different areas, and I am here for you. And on that note, I know a lot of parents and guidance counselors have been following and educators have been looking at everything that I've been posting, and thank you for that. For all of you, please let your kids know, whether it's actually your kids or students, let them know about the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Ray Doss, because there's not many kids, for example, on some of the platforms. There's not that many kids on Facebook, and depending on where you're at, there's not necessarily that many kids on Twitter. So that being said, I'm going to get into a math problem right now. This one reads, Chloe has a triangular shelf system in her shower, and we have that up here. The total height of the shelving system is 42 inches. And that is given to us here. Let's actually draw that height down, okay? And we know that that height is 42 inches. And there are 3 parallel shelves as shown above. Shelf 1, Shelf 2, and Shelf 3, all parallel. What is the maximum height in inches for a soapbox that can stand upright on the middle shelf? So that would be right here. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take out this gigantic triangle here, okay? And because we have parallel lines and we are creating a height, we know that this is 90 degrees. So we're going to pull out that big triangle, okay? And we have a 90 here, and we know that that height we know is 42. And we know that this hypotenuse is 2x, 3x, and 2x, which adds up to 7x. Now, here's the next thing, okay? We want to figure out this height, right? This height here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over a little bit because it's the same length as the height for this triangle. And remember, this doesn't have to be perfect looking. In fact, mine is very far from perfect looking, okay? And we have a 90-degree angle there. And I'm going to draw that triangle. I'm going to pull it out right here, okay? And it's a 90. And what do we know about that? Its height is s, that's one we don't know, and its hypotenuse is just this part, 3x, okay? So now, here's the thing. These are actually similar triangles. Not similar because they just look the same. Similar meaning that they have the same angles. And how do we know that? One is we know that both of these have a 90-degree angle, okay? Now here's the next thing. Because these are parallel lines, right? Here's a parallel line, here's a parallel line, here's a parallel line, and you have another line going through, and in fact, we can just draw these out a little bit to illustrate this even more clearly, right? So we have this line, and this line, and then we have a line going through all of them. The angle that's being created here is the exact same angle that's being created here, and no matter how many times you went up and drew another parallel line, you're creating the same exact situation over and over again. So these angles are the same. If 2 angles are the same, then the third angle must be the same because they're all coming out of a total of a maximum of 180 degrees. So if 2 angles are the same, whatever's going to be left over for the third angle in one triangle has to be the same as what's left over in the other triangle. When 2 triangles are the same, when they're similar in terms of their angles, what you can do is you can set up a proportion, okay? And the proportion here, we can set it up a bunch of ways, but one of the easiest ways is to say, well, in our little triangle, we can say s to 3x, so s to 3x, okay, that's our small triangle, right, is going to be the same as what? The ratio of this to this, right? Keep it the same, 42 to our hypotenuse in our big triangle, okay? Now all we do is cross multiply and we can solve. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cross multiply and we get 7xs equals 42 times 3x, okay? And let's put this up here. And on the left, let's just keep our 7xs. On our right, we get 126x. Divide both sides by 7x, okay? And cross this out, cross out our x's, right? And what do we have? S equals 126 over 7, which is 18. Answer choice D. All right, so this question is all about similar triangles, right? It looks like a big mess, but the thing that we wanted to make sure that we know, okay? Two things, actually. Number one is that if you have two triangles, right, and two of their angles are the same, the third angles have to be the same. If that's true, what do we know? We can set up a proportion. And in this case, we just said, hey, we're gonna set up the proportion based on the small triangle equivalent to the big triangle, the sides that would correspond. I am so happy to do these videos. Please ask me questions if anything's unclear. Please tell me what other content you want me to do. I really am here. I'm talking to a real person and I love you and I'm so really just genuinely moved and inspired and appreciative of all of the comments and likes and all the shares. Thank you so, so much. And I'm excited to be doing more of this with you and I hope you are healthy and safe. I love you all.